All right, so I'm making this video because somebody sent this in Discord. I have a Discord channel, by the way, it's in the description, from the MMA guru. And this is what he said. So he says, the UFC just gave a belt to a man for literally holding someone up against a cage, not a combat sport, rewarding absolute cowardice in the highest level of the sport as we know it. Dumb, ugly, inbred, cousin, effing, child marrying, freak goblin, giant, hideous creature. I have so many problems with this statement. I mean, obviously, I think we all know by now that MMA guru is, I don't even know what to call him at this point. He's just a hateful dude, right? But I don't really care about the stuff that he said at the end, right? That you can just be bigoted on your own. I think the part that bothers me about this is that people don't realize that MMA is a sport. And in sports, you have different ways to win. That's like being upset at a football team for running out the clock, or using their timeouts correctly, or being upset at an NBA team or an NBA player for drawing out a foul and you know, being able to score more points. You can't be mad at people for using the system that they have and finding ways to win within the system. You may not like it, you may think that it's not the best way to win, and that's okay. But you can't say that, you know, somebody's a coward, or you can't say that, I mean, I guess you can say whatever you want. It just doesn't make sense, right? What people don't really understand about martial arts, about MMA, about combat sports, or sports in general is there are a reason why these things exist. The rules allow him to do that. The rules allow Ankalaev to hold Alex up against the cage and beat him up and go for these takedowns, and he is controlling the fight by doing that. Instead of being upset with Ankalaev for doing that, how about you guys get upset with Alex for not being able to defend those things and get off of the cage? Yeah, he defended the takedowns, but he still stayed on the cage, knowing Ankalaev was still gonna win the fight from the control time. There's no way on earth that anyone that watched that fight would look at it and say, oh yeah, Alex won that. No way. Alex won the first round. After that, he pretty much lost every round after that. I don't remember exactly what the scorecards were, but I remember it was a unanimous decision, and that's all you need to know. The fact that people are thinking that Alex got robbed or it was even a close fight is insane to me. It was not close. It was very clear to me. I don't know about anybody else, but it was very clear that Ankalaev won. Did I want Alex to win? Of course, absolutely. I love Alex, right? But at the end of the day, we have to understand the sport itself allows for you to fight in that way, and you are being controlled. No one's getting upset at Merab for shooting 1,000 takedowns. If you cannot stop him from doing that, you will lose the fight. We all know that. If you can't stop him from implementing his pace, shooting takedowns, defend the takedowns, and mount your own offense, you will not win. And in the case of Ankalaev and Alex, if you cannot stop Ankalaev from holding you against the cage, punching you in the face, kneeing you up, clinching you up, attempting takedowns, and staying active enough to where the referee will allow him to stay there and work. If you cannot get off the cage, separate yourself, and punish him for trying to come in, that's your fault. And so people like, you know, MMA Guru make these insane statements. You look on Instagram and you see the comments from people saying, oh, how did he win a fight like this? Because the rules allow it. Because the rules allow it. It's that simple. You can't get upset. Again, you guys cannot get upset at fighters for doing what they're supposed to do. At the end of the day, what's the goal? To win the fight. And it's a championship fight. You better win at all costs. Now imagine if Ankalaev was like, no, I want to go out here and put on a show for the people. I want to do this. I want to do that. Okay, cool. And guess what happens? You go out there trying to be active and put on a show, and you end up getting knocked the fuck out. That's what will happen to you. So you play the game smart. And even the commentators were saying it. You know, I was in a bar watching it, so I didn't really get to hear everything, but I did hear that the commentators were saying, this is smart from Ankalaev. If it's smart and people are fucking booing, what does that mean? No one's complaining about the fact that he won the title. They're complaining about how he won it, but it doesn't matter. What matters is that he won. You can be upset about it if you want to be. I was a little salty, I won't lie. But at the end of the day, Ankalaev played the game, he won, and he got out of there without getting knocked out, did his own damage, rocked Alex a couple times. You can't be mad at that. And I'm gonna leave you guys with this. Floyd Mayweather said this a long time ago, and I will repeat it every time I can. If I could jab you for 12 rounds and you can't stop me, why the fuck would I stop? If I can use one weapon and you can't stop me from using it, why would I change? It's up to you as the fighter, my opponent, to figure out how to deal with what I'm doing. The problem is, I think, and we can discuss this in the other videos, is that our society has no accountability. It's always about what you want, why it's not the way that you want it to be. Ankalaev did not present anything that Alex was not aware of. You knew he was probably gonna try to grapple you. You knew that this was not gonna be an easy fight. You knew he was gonna try to clinch you. You knew he was gonna try to take you down, and you had your own game plan. If part of your game plan was not figure out how to stop this dude from clinching me up against the cage and stay out in the open where I know that my strikes are gonna be most effective, that's on you. And the fans need to be more aware. It's not only one person's job. Alex had a job too. And if he would have stopped the clinching on the cage and got himself back to the center and made Ankalaev pay every time that he walked in and tried to clinch with him, and made him pay every time he stepped forward and tried to pressure him, we would have saw a whole different fight. And I'm not saying that that's an easy thing to do, but what I'm saying is let's put the accountability and the quote unquote blame to where it belongs. And where it belongs is Alex didn't do what he needed to do in order to win that fight, and he allowed Ankalaev to do what he wanted to do in order to win that fight. It's that simple. So people like MMA Guru saying all the crazy stuff that he said, again, I don't need to get into him being bigoted and all that. We have to understand that this is a sport at the end of the day. And he played the game well, he won the fight, and that's the way it's supposed to be. Anyways, if you guys want to be joining the Discord and join into the conversations that we have on a daily basis about everything from MMA to music to podcasts to women, anything you want to know, anything you want to talk about, join in Discord in the description below. Until next time, peace.